Talk a little bit more about problem solving and strategies.
The beginning of last year, that would be 2014, we received new math TEKs. So our Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills must-dos, the non-negotiables for math change.
How Travis had 2 pieces of candy, and then he got 3 more pieces of candy, and we're trying to figure out how many he had all together.
The fascinating thing was when we read through the TEK for problem solving, it was the same TEK from kinder to 5th. So the same expectations for a 5-year-old that a 10 or 11-year-old would have while solving a problem. So we felt a little overwhelmed, and we, under the guidance of Jimmy Walker and Susan Perry, came together as a faculty, and thank goodness for Jimmy, because she sat us down and we just started pulling out verbs. What does this TEK want our kids to do?
Awesome job.
And we figured that we need a common language. We've got 17 kindergarten teachers here, and I think that worked because, you know, after we developed our words that we were going to use, we had to make it very simple. It had to speak to kindergartners. We needed something visual aids. We needed something kinesthetic for our kids that like to move, and so we came up with understand, we're looking for clues. And I asked them to put on their binoculars, and we're going to be problem solvers. It's like being a detective. We had to strategize and choose a plan, and we have a brain here, and the brain's thinking about what am I going to do? You know, am I going to use tally marks? Do I have a number line I can use? They need to find a plan, choose a plan and go with that strategy. Then they need to solve it. They need to get down to the pencil and paper, or do they need manipulatives like little counting chips? What do they need to put these pieces of the puzzle together and solve it? And then last, we can't help them understand better ways to solve a problem unless they can communicate with us. So we talk about unlock your thinking. Explain to us how you got from point A to point B and what was your strategy in doing that. The last part of that is pretty crazy. We got into algebra. We're having to put down what we call a number sentence. That's a kindergarten friendly term, but basically it's an equation.
3 facts are...
Kindergarten's math has become really sophisticated. They're expected to be able to do a lot. I think the most difficult thing is when they have to write a number sentence, because the symbols of addition and subtraction, developmentally, most kids can understand that, but those other kids they're just not there yet. And subtraction, you know, taking away, having less, that's more difficult for kids. But there's lots of practice and lots of application, but that is the expectation.
Landis won 2 fish at the fish booth. Layla won 1 fish.
We have to break it down and have many, many lessons to help children understand how to look for clues when they prepare to solve a problem. Then we need to have many, many lessons where we expose them to lots of tools and strategies so they know what it means to choose a plan.
The question is, how many fish did they get all together?
3.
So I think you all have an idea. Turn and talk to your friend, and then I'm going to show you how we will check with our 10 frames.
We use the 10 frames and the little markers to solve little simple, very simple addition questions using their friends as math stars in the problem so that they could find solutions.
I'm going to show Landis fish with 2 blue circles. How many fish did Landis have?
2.
And how many did Layla have? 1.
Product focused because we do have a goal in mind, a twofold goal, teaching the tool, and we're also trying to teach addition and subtraction. We want them to understand how to represent number in that way by adding. Today we focused on addition.
Where's the very best way to make sure you're right?
Count.
Show me the sign and say the word. Counting. Everyone, counting.
Then in addition, affiliation by adding their own names, and then looking at their learning profile and their readiness level by letting them use manipulatives.
2, 3.
So we hope right now, it looks like it's something that's viable, but nothing is ever finished. So it's a growing process. Right now it's a model, so think of it as a scaffolding, but the building's not built yet. And it may take a couple of years across the district for us to really decide what do we want our problem-solving model to look like. This is the beginning, it's a start. Call it the first architectural plan.